There are crimes that shock entire communities, leaving behind trails of fear and unanswered questions. Yet, some crimes go beyond shock. They chill the soul, burrowing into human consciousness because of how they are revealed. This is not a story of evidence, nor forensics, nor pursuit. It is the story of a confession, one so cold, so disturbingly calculated, that it transformed a missing persons case into a descent into the darkest reaches of obsession. It began quietly with a disappearance. There was no forced entry, no shattered glass, no signs of struggle. A young woman vanished from her home, leaving behind a half-finished cup of tea, an open book resting on her sofa, and a phone still charging on a nightstand. Her family sounded the alarm within hours. Neighbors, volunteers, and officers searched every alley, field, and roadside, believing she might still be nearby, perhaps injured, perhaps lost. But days passed with no trace. Rumors twisted through the community like smoke: abduction, runaway, even foul play by someone close. Yet nothing surfaced. Then, amid the confusion, an envelope was delivered to the local police station. No return address, no name. Inside was a single sheet of paper on which 7 words were written in neat ink. "You'll never find her unless you listen." It was neither threat nor ransom. It was a statement, a message. Investigators suspected a cruel hoax, another sick prank from someone seeking attention in the chaos. But something about the handwriting, the calm precision, unsettled even the most hardened officers. 2 more weeks passed. Search efforts slowed. Hope weakened. Then, one morning, a man entered the police station. He was not frantic, nor disoriented. He walked with measured steps, as though arriving for an appointment. He approached the front desk, placed a folded piece of paper on the counter, and spoke only once. "I'm the one you're looking for." At first, they doubted him. False confessions are not rare. People hungry for infamy often insert themselves into nightmares they never created. But this man's demeanor was different. He showed no tremor, no agitation. He was disturbingly composed. In the interrogation room, under the sterile flicker of fluorescent lights, he did not ask for a lawyer. He did not request water. He simply waited, hands calmly folded, as though prepared to deliver something rehearsed for years. When investigators began to question him, he didn't protest or stall. Instead, he began to describe, slowly, methodically, how he had come to know the missing woman without ever speaking to her. He recounted her daily routines, when she left for work, which cafe she favored, how she stood still for a moment to watch rain on the window. What others saw as mundane habits, he interpreted as signs, silent invitations into a life that never belonged to him. He claimed it began as admiration, an infatuation with her solitude, her order. But admiration darkened into a possessive hunger. In his mind, she became a living portrait, a moment of calm he wanted to preserve. He chose his night carefully. Rain hammered the streets, wind howled against windows. A night when alarms were ignored, when thunder could disguise anything. He entered her home using a key he had crafted after months of silent observation. He found her reading. She looked up, startled, but he insisted she did not scream. Investigators doubted much of what he said, but what unsettled them was not his claim. It was his serenity while saying it. The interrogation was expected to crack him, to draw out guilt, fear, remorse. But he displayed none. Instead, he spoke as though narrating a story finally reaching its climax. The most terrifying truth emerged not in how he described the crime, but why he revealed it. He had never been caught. No evidence linked him. He could have remained a ghost forever. So why confess? His answer was as haunting as the crime itself. Crimes without confession are forgotten. I refuse to be forgotten. Psychologists later identified malignant narcissism, an ego-craving legacy, even through horror. He did not confess out of guilt or redemption. He confessed to be eternal. For him, infamy was a form of immortality. Without his words, she would remain a missing person. With them, he believed he became an author of fate. He never revealed her location. Investigators begged, threatened, bargained, but he kept that secret sealed with a smile. "She is where moments stay perfect," he murmured, a phrase that became a riddle of torment for all who heard it. To this day, her body has never been found. The trial was swift. He pled guilty not to shorten time, but to seize the stage. He gave no apology, offered no explanation beyond what he had already scripted. The judge called him a predator of identity, not just life. He was sentenced to life without parole. Yet, even now, his confession lingers like a poison. He proved something horrifying, that evil does not always hide in shadows. Sometimes it steps forward. It signs its name. It demands to be seen. He confessed not to set himself free, but to imprison us with his memory. If this chilling tale gripped you, there are many more stories lurking in the shadows. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more true crime narratives, real confessions, and the darkest corners of human psychology. Your support helps us continue uncovering the stories most would rather keep buried.